Power of the drop shot. I mean, it is every single cast I'm getting bit and interacting with the fish. Every single cast. Hey, good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're out here on a new lake that I've never been on before, and I'm excited about it. They just recently built a boat ramp on this lake, and this is one of those lakes that you just kind of heard whispers about over the years, and a lake that I've always really wanted to fish, but I've never actually been able to fish it, and I've never heard anything about the actual quality on the lake. So I am excited to come out here and just see what we can put together. It should be an adventure. This is the reason why I love kayak bass fishing so much. We're able to come out here on these smaller bodies of water that bigger boats really don't care about getting on, and seeing if it's a little hidden gem. It's a beautiful day. Fall is definitely in the air. The wind is blowing straight out of the north, and it's starting to cool things down here in Central Florida. So I'm excited about that. We're gonna be able to get out here and not sweat a whole lot and see what the day has in store. But as always, y'all, I appreciate you watching. Now let's go fishing. Okay, so let's pull up the deep dive app real quick, see what's going on today. So the wind is blowing right out of the north, and we are going to be getting hit pretty hard today with northern winds with some gusts at like 15, 17 miles an hour. So this is a very small lake. Hopefully the wind won't be able to build up too much out here. If we go over to the weather section, yeah, you can see that it was touching the 60s first thing this morning, which really made it feel nice, and it's in the lower 70s, and it's not even supposed to hit 80 degrees until like 11 o'clock, which will be really nice. See those gusts though? Those gusts are going to be getting up to 17, 18, even 19 miles an hour while we're out here, and there's not really any feeding windows. We're on the tail end of a major feed, so we need to get out there, see if we can catch one while they're still potentially feeding. I really like the deep dive app, y'all. We're fishing in a kayak as always, and so using this wind effect section is just so important, because now we know that this northern section of the bank where those blue circles are, that's going to be an area where we're going to be able to hang out all day and not have to worry about the wind. We're going to want to avoid this red section because the wind is just going to be beating that section up. So this is a great tool for a kayak. It's a great tool for all anglers. But if you are interested in using the Deep Dive app, just click the link in the description below. And a huge shout out to Deep Dive for sponsoring today's video. Alrighty, y'all, let's get started. We are right at the mouth of the canal where we just launched. Yeah, never been on this lake before, but this looks pretty good. Start off with some top water, go from there. I have no idea how much pressure this lake gets. The boat ramp hasn't been open for more than a year, so hopefully not too many people have found out about it yet. Try to cover some water with this buzz bait. I normally throw a Strike King buzz bait that's very subtle, but this morning there's a chop on the water, and I'm throwing this Booyah buzz bait that I've modified, and it has that clacker there, and I also took a 1/8 ounce drill bit and drilled some holes in there to create some extra bubbles, a little extra commotion, and help them track this bait whenever it's a little bit more choppy. So we're gonna throw this around for a little bit, see if we can trick one, and go from there. he came out and grabbed it. Shoo-wee. Wow. Well, that'll get your heart going. I don't know if you actually ever made contact with it or not. Woo! Well, that was on the modified buzzbait. Let's see if we can get another one. Wow. He crushed it. Well, definitely say that was going to be worth throwing around a little bit more. See if we can trick any. Surely that one buzzbait bass isn't the only one out here. This is crazy. So this is what it's come down to. Throwing the drop shot. So right now I don't even know where they're hanging out. Nope, you can't make it up. The first throw with the drop shot, I get bit. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not. Let's check them out here. Well, maybe. Come on, dude. Healthy fish. Thank you, buddy. Got the skunk out of the boat. Bass do live in the lake. I started throwing a drop shot 2-3 years ago. Before that, never threw it. If you don't have a drop shot in the arsenal, it's just one of those necessary evils. I've cycled through every other bait that I have, and I've even changed out a few baits along the way, and just haven't gotten bit. First throw with the drop shot, I got bit. Again, I don't know if it's a coincidence or not. We'll find out soon. But that drop shot oftentimes will at least let you know there are fish in the area. If you feel like they're starting to get a little finicky or they don't want to eat. That one's got it. I think we found a school of micros. But hey, I've been out here an hour and a half without catching a single thing. They scratched the itch a little bit. Thank you, buddy. Just a random little spot right there. I don't know if there's a ton of them or if that area had those two. They were fighting over it. And they're not even relating to anything. Don't know exactly how he got off. Same area. All right, well, we're gonna leave this area. We got 4 bites in just a few minutes throwing the drop shot. So we're gonna keep the drop shot in our hand. Those fish were biting in about 4.5 foot of water. So we'll take note of that. And we'll just continue to throw this drop shot around for a little while. There's a nicer one. For sure. All right. Somehow shook my weight off. Get you unhooked. Pretty fish. Thank you, buddy. Okay, well, I guess these fish are relating to absolutely nothing, but we got a pattern as of right now. Drop shot in front of these grass patches in about 5 foot of water. So that's what we'll do. Somehow I lost a weight along the way. I got one more. Of course. So my drop shot setup, since I fish here in Florida, I throw 30-pound braid to 14-pound fluorocarbon. It gives me just enough backbone to be able to kind of set the hook and fight the fish if they are really close to cover. Then tie on that drop shot. You tie a Palomar knot. And this is a 1/0 hook, worm hook. I believe it's made by Gamakatsu. All right, and you just wet that, and you pull that tight. All right, then you don't want to trim your tag in because that's where your weight's going to go. Also, keep that hook true and perpendicular with the line. What you do is you take that tag in and you stick it through the eye of the hook, feed it back through, and then just kind of pull that tight, and then you can see how that hook just runs perpendicular with the line, and that's how you want to present it. From there, this is a 3/8 ounce weight. And I always just like to measure like this. It's about 8 inches or so. And I just tie an arbor knot on the bottom. This knot is weaker than that Palomar knot, so if that weight gets caught on something, it'll snap first. And I generally like to have about a 12-foot leader or so. That's that setup. And then I like the Zoom Z-drop. 4-inch. If I'm throwing a drop shot, I'm trying to just catch a fish, so I want to be able to present it to all size fish. I've caught 4+ pound fish on this setup, and as you can see, I've also caught plenty of micros. But you just run that hook at about a 45-degree angle through that worm, then that hook comes out at that 45-degree angle. Then from there, you just line up where that hook's going to go. I stick it through, and then that point, it's just coming through, and then I tuck it back in. I like to pave the way so it knows where to go. And then that worm's also running perpendicular to the line. From there, my KVD shad scent stick. They hold on to it a little bit better with that. I don't think it necessarily attracts the fish, but they, I think, hold on to it a little bit longer. All right, after all that, let's get out there and see if we can catch another one. I was marking fish earlier at this depth. Oh, there's another one. Small one. They're healthy though. Alrighty, my guy. Ouch. Alright, Chesty just died, but another small little guy on the drop shot. Thank you, buddy. Let's see if we can catch a giant with this tiny little drop shot. Why not? When I explained earlier, my full drop shot setup, but if you're interested in the setup, it's all also going to be linked in the description below. If I don't have the direct link to Amazon, I will at least have what I'm using today, so you at least are able to search for it if you're interested. There's a mess of them down there. It's a little bit nicer one. He's got some fight in him, I'll give him that. Nah. Come on, buddy. Guess I'm like a clone of the last one. Thank you, buddy. So, like with all my other soft plastics as well, with this Zoom Z drop, I'll just cut the top off if the worm got torn, so you can still get another fish or two out of it. Again, they're, from what I can tell, they're not relating to anything down there. There's another one. That's a bigger one. At least a stronger one. I haven't really got a good look at him. Oh yeah, that's definitely a nicer one. A little bit nicer, not as big as I thought it was. Thank you, buddy. They're clones, but they're fun. All right, don't shake the weight off. I think that's like 5 casts back to back. That little hook pegs them. Number 7 total. Thank you, buddy. As long as they're willing to bite, I'm gonna keep on throwing it out there. I don't care how big they are. That is fun. We got number 6 on here, 6 in a row. That hook just shook right out. Thank you, buddy. All right, I had to retie, so hopefully those fish are still out there. That was 6 in a row. Oh man. Well, that would have been 7 in a row. Glad to know they're still there. It's not a little one. Thank you, buddy. Power of the drop shot. 7 bass and 8 casts. Interacted with it. 8 for 8. All right, that's number 10. Thank you, buddy. It's been a long time since I found them loaded up in one spot like this. I mean, it is every single cast I'm getting bit and interacting with the fish. Every single cast. First time I didn't get bit. That was a good bite. Golly, dude. Come on. Pretty little fish, though. Thank you, buddy. All right, let's keep them coming. Well, that's been a few casts with no bites to show for it. saw how the wind was blowing through that Kissimmee grass and those cattails forming that channel, and there was a good little current there, so that's why I picked up a drop shot and threw over there. That's number 12 for the day. Thank you, buddy. All right, come back to our little honey hole. This is our last stop. See if we can get bit a few times here, and we're going to get out of here. See if this is reloaded at all. That's the smallest one of the day. Thank you, buddy. Last cast. All right, that is it. That drop shot pulled through. Alrighty, y'all, the day is over. All in all, it was a good day. I was happy with the way that the day turned out. This lake sets up a lot like the Kissimmee chain. I think that there's potential for really big bass out here. I think that fall transition made it a tougher day. We tried all the power techniques. We flipped, we threw the spinnerbait, chatterbait, you name it, I threw it. Nothing could stick, picked up that drop shot, and we managed to catch over a dozen bass off of it. So if you do not have a drop shot in your arsenal, I reviewed the entire setup in the video. It'll all be linked in the description below. It is a must. It can turn these really tough days where you might even have gotten skunked into being able to put over a dozen bass in the boat. So y'all need to try that out. It will definitely increase your fishing game. So if y'all have any questions about that, feel free to reach out. But that's today's video, y'all. If you stuck with me this long, I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button so you can follow along. Thank y'all for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.